What is up, you guys? I hope you're doing well. And today we are going to be counting down our most anticipated films of 2023. I've got a top 10. Austin's got a top 10. I'm incredibly excited to go over our picks. So let's just get right into it.
Actually, I want to start with an honorable mention.
All
Do you
right,
have an
cool. Let's do
honorable
that.
mention?
Yeah, cool. Yeah.
Okay, so my honorable mention is Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. So the reason that I didn't put this in my top 10 is very simple. I have never seen the original Indiana Jones movies. As of this
Oh.
point, I've never watched them. And
Ah.
I'm looking forward to doing that throughout this year in preparation for Indiana Jones 4.
Mm,
But as of this moment, I've never done it. Or is it Indiana Jones 4 or 5?
five.
This is 5. Okay, so I'm looking forward to watching them because I think it's very cool that Harrison Ford is coming back because after being in the film world for a while, learning that Harrison Ford is kind of like a dude who doesn't do things unless he really likes it because
Yeah.
his stuff with Star Wars,
Uh-huh.
he has very like pessimistic attitudes towards them, and he doesn't commit to things unless he truly believes that there is a good script and that he can profit from it. Not
Uh-huh.
profit from it's probably a bad choice of words, but
Yeah, but
uh,
yeah.
so yeah, Indiana Jones is my honorable mention. I think it'll be much higher on the list if I had seen the previous ones, but I haven't. So that's why it's an honorable mention. Do you have an honorable mention?
I don't actually. I wanted to challenge myself, keep it to 10. 'Cause there's a lot of films that I'm really looking forward to this year, and I wanted to keep things kind of condensed.
Oh yeah, for sure, for sure. That I only have one honorable mention. Other than that, I think I did good. So
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that too. I love the Indiana Jones films, except for the fourth one. That was not very good. And like I said, Harrison Ford, seems like one of those actors who who isn't who and that, like during like the press run and stuff, you can really tell when he's like passionate about a project and when he just does not care.
yeah,
Because it's really funny watching compilations of him doing Star Wars interviews and him just like not caring at all.
Did you shoot Greedo first, or did Greedo shoot you first?
I don't care.
yeah,
So so yeah, I think James Mangold is a phenomenal director. I mean, the guy gave us Logan, Ford versus Ferrari, and
yes,
he's got big shoes to fill, filling in for Spielberg, and who's one of the all time greats. But I believe he can do
yeah.
it, and I believe that that's. And I'm hoping and praying that this will be a good film, so yeah, I'm looking forward to that too. All right, my number 10 pick is M. Night Shyamalan is a filmmaker who I find deeply fascinating, and he's somebody whose projects that I always look forward to because I know that whether it ends up being great and so bad it's good, or if it ends up being just absolutely terrible, at least his stuff is at least his films, at least his stuff is like always like interesting, always original, well, almost always original, and always like clearly like made with passion. Like it never seems like Shyamalan is phoning in the stuff he does. In interviews I've seen with him, not only does he seem like a really nice person, but he's somebody who also seems like super passionate and knowledgeable about the craft of film. And going into a new film of his is very much like opening a mystery box. You truly have no idea what you're going to get from him, but you know that for sure it's going to be interesting. Like his filmography is as wildly inconsistent as Weezer's discography. So far from the trailers, I think that this looks really promising. It's got a very intriguing premise with some very talented actors. Like you got Jonathan Groff, you got Rupert Grint, you got Dave Bautista, the dude who's just been killing it lately. And I find that yeah, and I finally watched Glass Onion recently on Netflix, and I loved it. It was really good. He was really good in it. So I'm very curious to see how this turns out, and I hope I hope that this film ends up being one of his good films, or at the very least ends up being entertaining.
I completely agree with everything you said about M. Night Shyamalan. We'll get to him shortly on my list.
All right.
But number 10 for me is Barbie. And the reason I'm putting Barbie just at the number 10 spot is because I like when I make a top 10 list for the new upcoming year, I always like to pick one movie that I like specifically just on talent.
Uh-huh.
Like this movie is full of talent. Margaret Robbie,
Yeah.
Ryan Gosling, Simu Lee, Greta Gerwig directing. Like this could be a powerful movie, and I really like how they took the teaser trailer and sort of like it was talking about how all the kids were fascinating over these little play dolls, and then here it introduces the Barbie and it changed the world. It just seems like a really interesting premise, and I'm looking forward to it. I did not expect to be looking forward to it But Margot Robbie is, I think, one of the best actors working today.
Agreed.
Sadly, Amsterdam and Babylon
Yeah.
flopped and did bad at the box office and not really good films in general, in my opinion. I've seen them both.
Mhm.
But she's very talented. Ryan Gosling as well is talented, and Simu
Yep.
Lee is a great actor as well. I mean, this has got a lot of talent in this movie, and I'm
Yeah.
really looking forward to it. Michael Cera as well, Will Ferrell. I mean, it's got a huge cast. I'm looking
Stacked.
forward
Yeah.
to it. I will be there watching Barbie. So top 10 on my list.
Yeah, I'm very much looking forward to it too, and it's also going to be showing up on my list soon as well. All right, my number 9 pick is. I love the Rocky franchise, except for Rocky 5. Although I could still watch and enjoy that film in like a so bad it's good kind of way. And I love the Creed movies as well, and how they really effectively build off of the Rocky films and pass the torch in a great way. And I love Michael B. Jordan. I think that he's one of the best actors working today. And it's super cool it's super cool that for this film he's also the director this time, and that's very reminiscent of how Stallone directed several of the Rocky movies, and I can't wait to I can't wait to see him face off against Jonathan Majors in the film. Jonathan Majors has been killing it lately. He's gonna be an Ant-Man. I'm super excited about that, and I'm really excited to see how that rivalry unfolds. And yeah, don't really have much to say about that other than that I'm pumped.
Yeah, for sure, man. I will be talking a lot about Creed 3, but
Oh,
not
yeah.
for a while.
Yeah.
I'm devastated that it's so far on the bottom of your list, but I understand why. We got some good movies coming out this year.
Yeah, it was hard ranking these, man. There's a lot of good stuff coming out.
Yeah, for sure. So my number 9 is Knock at the Cabin as well for the same reasons you said. M. Night Shyamalan, I think, is a great filmmaker. One of the reasons that you said I agree with it is his stuff is memorable.
Yeah,
Like, even if it's good or it's bad, you leave the theater, you remember what you've watched, and 5 years from now, you'll remember watching that movie.
yeah.
The same with Unbreakable, Split,
Hmm.
Glass, Old, the movie I saw a couple years ago.
Yep.
This one, or not Knock at the Cabin, I'm sure it's gonna be the same way. There was one about aliens. Can't remember the exact name, but I've seen it. Can't remember the exact name.
Signs.
But
That's a
Signs,
Signs. Yeah.
Yep. So his stuff is very memorable, and I always look forward to an M. Night movie when it comes out, because it's just you can feel that it's his work. It's original, it is intriguing, and you remember it when you leave the theater. So I am super excited for Knock at the Cabin. I will be there. It's coming out in a couple weeks, I think. Not far at all.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Yeah, I think so. Sometime in like in like early to mid February. Yeah. My number 8 pick is. Like most people, I adore Into the Spider-Verse. It's the second best Spider-Man movie in my opinion, with number 1, of course, and it being Spider-Man 2. It's a film that is just bursting at the seams with creativity. The animation is incredible, and the characters were awesome and memorable. And I especially loved Nicolas Cage as a Spider Noir and John Mulaney as Spider Ham. And this sequel, across the Spider-Verse, it looks like it's continuing the greatness of that film and really upping the ante with even more incarnations and variations of Spidey, even more crazy universes and animation styles. And I cannot wait to see what kind of treats this movie has in store. And I hope and pray that it is just as good as the first one.
Yeah, man, I completely. I'm really hoping that movie is as good as the first one, because man, the first one is amazing.
Yeah.
But my number 8 is Beau is Afraid. Beau is Afraid. Sorry. The one of the A24 films that I'm excited for this year. I saw like 5 of them last year, and all of them were great.
Yeah.
The Whale being the highlight of all of them. But the main reason I'm excited for this movie is Joaquin Phoenix. The same reason I said for Harrison Ford. Joaquin Phoenix does not make a bad movie. He
True.
does not star in a movie that is not good. So when he's coming out in the movie that he's starring in, I'm all aboard. And so A24, Ari Aster, Joaquin Phoenix, I'm convinced. It's on my top 10. I will be going to see it as soon as it comes. All these movies I'm going to see when it comes out.
Yeah.
But yeah, so this movie comes out in April. It's being marketed as a horror thriller too, with also a drama. So I'm really looking forward to see Joaquin's take on that. Because I think he's an excellent actor, probably the best one there is. So I'm super excited for it.
Yeah, completely agree. I haven't watched the trailer for that film yet, so I'm not sure the premise. But I'm definitely gonna check it out as soon as I'm finished. And I agree that Joaquin is a phenomenal actor. And like I said, always like picks like the best material possible to work with, and yeah, should be cool.
Yeah, he makes movies based on art, not on a
Yeah,
paycheck, and that's when his movie comes out, he's starring in. You have to see it. I mean, you just got to go see it. It's
yeah.
gonna be great.
Like I initially was put off by the idea of them doing a sequel to Joker because I thought the first film ended on such a good note. But then I remember that Joaquin Phoenix, I mean he wouldn't do this movie if it didn't if it didn't have some kind of art to it. And so far what we're hearing about it sounds really cool and I really appreciate that it's taken like a radically different direction. It seems like from the original Joker film. So and I'm curious to see how that'll turn out too. All right, my number 7 is Barbie. Never in my life did I think I would be excited for a Barbie film, but this film looks really good. Like I said, they've got a phenomenal cast with Margot Robbie, Ryan Gosling, Will Ferrell, Simu Liu, Michael Cera, and so many others. Like visually, the film looks fantastic, and the production design and how they replicate and how they've like replicated the Barbie universe with the dollhouses and everything. And I'm like 100% on the hype train for this. I'm ready. I'm in. I'm sold.
Agreed, man. Agreed. My number 7 is John Wick Chapter 4.
Ah,
So the reason I am very excited for John Wick Chapter 4 is I love John Wick Chapter 3. I thought the action is some of the best action I've ever seen in the movie theater, and the cinematographer Dan Listin, if I'm
mm-hmm.
pronouncing that right, he is returning, which is
Yep.
freaking awesome. That gives me like my confidence just went up
Mm-hmm.
in this movie. And we got the main people. Kanye Reeves is back. Keanu Reeves, sorry, not Kanye.
Yeah.
Keanu Reeves, and we got some new additions like Bill Skarsgård has joined the cast, which I think Bill Skarsgård is absolutely great.
Yeah.
So I mean, I'm just excited for this movie all the way around because John Wick 3 was great, and it seems like they're taking the same material from there or the same meat that made that movie work and bringing it over to John Wick 4. And I love a good action movie. So
Me too. Yeah. The first two films are great too.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm also super excited. I'm also super excited for that, and and I'll be talking about that much later on the list.
I knew yours would be much higher.
Yeah, and I've got my pop with me.
Sweet. I gotta
Yeah.
bring some of my pops down.
There you go.
I got them all over here. Look at the whole stack of them.
There you go. All right. Okay. My number 6 is Oppenheimer. I always look forward to what Christopher Nolan does. Like the man gave us the Dark Knight trilogy and Inception, and in my opinion, is one of the best filmmakers in the game. I like Barbie, which is funny because these films, Oppenheimer or Barbie, are coming out the same weekend. And like Barbie, this film has an insane cast. This thing's got Cillian Murphy, who I think is very underrated. Robert Downey Jr., Florence Pugh, Emily Blunt, Matt Damon, Josh Peck.
And it's spherical. Spherical.
And a smattering of others. Parts of this film are filmed in black and white, which I think is super awesome. And this film is chronicling the life of J. Robert Oppenheimer and his invention of the atomic bomb, which sounds like a really interesting and informative story. So yeah, Nolan, it's can't go wrong with that.
No, you cannot. So my number 6 is The Flash. And The Flash is interesting because probably 2 months ago, this movie would have been number 1 or number 2. But just recently, with all the new DC stuff we're hearing, Ben Affleck being removed, Henry Cavill scenes being cut, just like it feels like this movie just still doesn't know what it wants to be, even though it's been in development for 10 years. They still don't know what type of story they want to have, how it's going to lead into the future, and with these cinematic universes, that stuff matters.
Yeah.
Like on a standalone movie, it doesn't matter what it leads to the future, but for this stuff that's clearly a cinematic universe, and that's what they're setting out to do, it matters.
Yeah, there's no cohesion, there's no plan,
No, there's not, and that doesn't matter. Rocky 1, if you look at Rocky 1, that doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But if you look at a movie like The Flash, who's 10 movies deep into the DC universe, that matters. And this is just like it feels like all the air's already been let out of the balloon because James Gunn's come in, they're rebooting everything. So this movie just like a long time ago, it would have been way higher. But now that new details have set in, it's pushed way back. But I'm still excited because I do love The Flash. I think The Flash is an awesome superhero. I think the Flashpoint storyline is really interesting. And Michael Keaton as Batman is something
Keaton.
I am very excited to see. And that is apparently still in the movie.
Yeah.
And The director is a director of It Chapter 1 and Chapter 2, which I
Yeah.
think are two great films.
Mhm.
So I'm excited to see this movie. I wish that it was a little higher, but just because of outside influences, that's the reason it's pushed back a bit.
Yeah, I'm at a point. Yeah, I'm at a point where like I have no idea what DC is doing, and I have no clue how this film is gonna turn out. But I am like I am like cautiously optimistic because like, I'm super excited to see Michael Keaton back as Batman. Like the Flashpoint storyline is a very good storyline. I think the Flash is a really cool character. And yeah, we'll see how we'll see how that turns out. I mean, it's gotten pushed back multiple times. Having to swap directors, and it's just been a mess. And all the details have been like conflicting. So I'm just going in there hoping for the best.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
But all the test screenings have showed that it's an extremely positive movie, like some of the best movie that DC's put out. So all signs point in the right direction. I'm excited.
Yeah. While recording this video, we somehow, some way managed to avoid the, in my opinion, unavoidable elephant in the room, which is Ezra Miller's antics, if you call them offset. Assaulting people, throwing chairs at people, and just doing all kinds of harm and damage to themselves and others. And if you're wondering why I'm calling Ezra they and them, that is because Ezra is non-binary and those are their pronouns. And even though I think Ezra is a seriously unwell person, not because of them being non-binary. Let's be clear. Being non-binary is completely normal and does not mean you are mentally ill. I think Ezra Miller is unwell because they keep doing psycho crap. Even though I think that Ezra is massively unwell, I am not going to deny or denigrate their humanity and misgender them in that way, because I 1000% am in support of the non-binary community, the trans community, the LGBTQ plus community, and all that stuff. So Ezra, if by some slim chance you ever see this, I just want you to know that I think that you have a lot of talent as an actor, and I sincerely hope that you get that you get the help you need in your current time of crisis. Cause I don't know much about you. I haven't looked that deeply into your personal life and into the kind of life you lived and what's been going on there. But I assume I assume that there has to have been something something traumatizing or something that that affected you deeply in such a way where you feel like you have to treat people in this way. So I wish you the best of, I wish you nothing but the best of luck in getting the help that you need. I hope I don't know, man. It's just just a crazy situation. So I just wanted to add this message. I just wanted to add this message in the middle of the video. So yeah. All right, my number 5 is Cocaine Bear. As soon as I saw the trailer and the title, I knew that I had to see this. This movie looks absolutely insane and ridiculous in the best way possible. Just a bear finds like a random brick of cocaine in the woods, snorts it, and then goes on a murderous rampage. If that premise and that title won't get butts and seats, I don't know what will. This looks epic. This looks like pure cinema, and I cannot wait.
Oh man, that's so funny. I just watched that trailer earlier today, and I'm so sad it's off my list. But these movies I'm more excited for. But I'm gonna see Cocaine Bear because it looks really fun.
Yeah.
So actually, my number 5 is Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, and
Ah,
it is actually bonkers to me that a Marvel movie is this low on my list.
hmm.
It seems that recently, like, Marvel's just kind of let the air out of the balloon a little bit. Like, we're kind of strutting our staying in places, we're running, whatever that
Mm.
saying's called, the staying in the tracks. And I'm really excited for Ant-Man and the Wasp because of Kang the Conqueror. I
Yeah.
think that Jonathan Majors is one of the best actors working today, and he has the chance to turn Marvel back into what it was 3 years ago, just with his presence and his demeanor and how intimidating he could be as Kang the Conqueror. I am excited for Ant-Man just for that reason,
Yeah.
which is crazy to me because, like, we've had 2 movies with Ant-Man, 2 movies with the Wasp, and I don't really care at this point.
Yeah, you
I
know.
mean, there's another Marvel movie coming out later in the year that I care way more about.
Hmm.
But as of right now, Kang the Conqueror is what I'm really focusing on. Peyton Reed, I think, is a great director.
Yeah.
He directed the finale of Mandalorian season 2,
Hmm.
which is beautiful, some of the
Yep.
best television there is. So
Hmm.
I'm excited for a plethora of reasons, but it's just crazy to me that Marvel is this low on my list as of this moment. But that shows what a great year we're having, and sort of the mid year that Marvel had last year
Yeah,
with
you
a
know.
couple
Yeah.
great titles and a lot of okay
Yeah.
titles. So
Yeah. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that too. Mainly for Kane and Kang. He's gonna be. I think he's gonna be awesome. And and like the best villain the Marvels had in years. My number 4 pick is Dune Part 2. Now, I have not read the book or seen the original 1984 film, but judging the first film on its own merits as its own movie, I think it's fantastic. 2021's Dune. I loved the atmosphere, the visuals, the performances, especially from Oscar Isaac. Oscar Isaac, his character was my favorite, and just like the world building. I just think the world of Dune is so cool, and I love that we're exploring it. And this film, the part 2, is adapting the second half of the Dune book, and I cannot wait to see where the story goes. Austin Butler, who I loved in Elvis, Florence Pugh, and Christopher frickin' Walken have joined the cast, and I think that's super exciting. And like the last film, this film is sure to be a great experience, and I'm hoping it's good.
yeah, man, I'm looking forward to doing part 2 as well. Like you said, Austin Butler he was amazing as Elvis,
Yeah,
and I hope
yeah,
he
he
gets
was
the Oscar
fantastic.
because he was great.
Yeah,
He was great. So my number 4 is actually Spider-Verse Across the Spider-Verse. Is
yeah,
that a
Across the
correct
Spider
title?
Verse. Yeah,
Yeah, kind of a anyway. Yeah, that is my number 4 pick, and the reason that it is not in the top 3 is because that the first film, I think, was so great because of the heart of the movie. Like the multiverse stuff is cool with all the Spider-Man coming in, but that movie had a really great heart, like a lot of heart to it, with Kingpin's storyline, Miles and his uncle storyline, Peter B.
yeah.
Parker. It had a lot of heart to it.
Hmm.
And the second movie, they're only marketing on look how many Spider-Man there are, which is really cool, but like will it be able to replicate the heart and the feeling of the first movie? That's what I'm curious on because we haven't really seen the story of this movie yet. We're just seeing all the crazy stuff they're doing. So uh that's my only like scary part of this movie. But other than that, I mean this is a sequel to one of the best animated movies ever made.
Yeah,
I mean, probably besides Shrek, in my opinion, this is the second best animated movie ever made. So
yeah.
I'm super excited for it. Like I said, I'm sure there's some heart in there. I'm sure they wrote a good script, but we just haven't
I hope
seen any of it yet.
I hope so.
So
Yeah.
that's why it's not in my top 3. But man, I'm super excited for this movie. I love the animation style. I love the voice acting. I hope Peter B. Parker's in the movie again because he was great.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's my number 4.
Yeah, I agree with you. I agree that the first film and not only was great visually and had some really awesome characters, but it had a great story. It had great heart to it. I love the storyline with Miles Morales and his uncle and the whole like Prowler thing and him trying to really fit in with fit in school and really find himself in becoming the new Spider-Man. And that film had a lot of heart to it, and I hope that this film carries on that tradition as well as bringing some awesome visuals and some awesome different versions of Spider-Man.
Completely
Yeah.
agree. Completely agree.
All right, my number 3 is Mission Impossible: Dead Reckoning Part 1. This is one of the few franchises that just gets better and better with each installment, in my opinion. Like, we are on film 7 of this franchise, and they just keep raising the stakes, upping the ante, upping the action and stunts. And unlike Fast and Furious, which in my opinion I feel that has gotten like very stale, and tired as the series has gone on. Like, this series has like yet to miss a beat. Tom Cruise, I think it's just amazing at what he does, but both acting wise, and stunt wise. And I love these movies, and I'm absolutely stoked for this one.
Oh man, Ethan, I'm so sad right now.
Oh, I
I
missed it.
forgot Mission Impossible.
Oh,
I'm looking at my list right now and I want to move it around so bad, but I'm not doing it. Okay, I'm not doing it. Okay. Another honorable mention is mine is Mission Impossible.
there you go.
And that is because of Tom Cruise only.
Yeah, he's awesome.
He did something amazing with Top Gun Maverick.
Yeah.
And I know that he is like, I know how high his bar is now and how like he makes films that are worthy of being in cinemas. And so every movie that has him in it from now on, I will be there to watch it because he proved something with Top Gun Maverick, and Mission Impossible I'm sure will do the same.
Absolutely, yeah.
So yeah, I agree with every word you said.
Yeah.
So my number 3 is Oppenheimer. And that is because Christopher Nolan is one of the best filmmakers to ever exist. Interstellar, you touched on it, Inception, the Dark Knight trilogy. This man makes good movies.
Yep.
And to me, the reason it's so much higher than a lot of these other movies is because I think the premise is so interesting about the atomic bomb and J. Robert Oppenheimer, going through like the legal system to get it made and how it was made and how it affects the world. I think it's such a cool premise, and I love the black and white noir stuff. I love Robert Downey Jr.'s in the movie, Florence Pugh, Emily Blunt. I mean, it's a stacked cast. Christopher Nolan's at the helm. I mean, there's nothing I'm not excited for about this movie. So I'm really looking forward to July. I'll be doing a double feature of Oppenheimer and Barbie.
Oh yeah, me too, man. Yeah. All right, my number 2 is John Wick Chapter 4. Like, this series and the Mission Impossible series are, in my opinion, the best pure like action series that we've gotten since the Bourne series. The first John Wick, was not only like a great action film in its own right, with some of Keanu's best acting, in my opinion, but it also introduced this really cool like criminal underworld, and that had a lot of world building and franchise potential. And each installment since then has, like Mission Impossible, raising the stakes, expanding the lore, just upping the action. And again, that has like yet to disappoint me. The action, the action in all the movies is like superbly filmed and choreographed. No shaky cam, no quick cut editing nonsense. And Keanu Reeves is a badass, and I cannot wait to see. I cannot wait to see what direction they're going to take this story in after everything that happened in the last one.
Yeah, man, I'm super excited for John Wick 4 as well. I already touched on it, but yeah, you hit every nail on the head. It's gonna be a great film.
Yeah.
I know it already. So, my number 2 is Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, and man, this is a movie that I just like. I wrote in my notes, could be the best trilogy ever? Question mark. Like, I mean, I think Guardians of the Galaxy 1 is amazing. Guardians of the Galaxy 2 is a little bit under it, but still phenomenal. And Guardians of the Galaxy 3 looks stunning with James Gunn just being the writer and director that he is. He just makes movies that are fun to watch, that are rewatchable, and that, like, while you're sitting there watching them, you just smile.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like this is what you do. And which is scary to me because this movie looks sad.
I know.
The trailers make it seem sad.
Yeah.
And like the ending of something, which is so bonkers because like Marvel hasn't felt like that in a while. And with James Gunn moving over to DC, I mean, this is it.
Yeah.
This is actually the end of his run at Marvel Studios with the Guardians of the Galaxy, which is my favorite team in Marvel, easily.
Yeah.
My favorite team in Marvel. So, man, this movie just makes me like sad thinking about it right now because I don't want it to come out because I don't want to see it. I don't want it to end. But
I know.
Man, James Gunn is great. The score is already sounds fantastic. He said that the song in the trailer is going to be in the film.
Yep.
And that's Space Hog by or Into the Meantime by Space Hog.
Space Hog. Yep.
Yeah, great song. James Gunn is great, man. Marvel, like I'm telling you, Ant-Man and this movie could put Marvel back in high gear.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah.
Into the tip tops, which is crazy to me because I liked a lot of the projects from 2022. It just felt different.
Yeah.
And this feels like back to 2019 Marvel when it was in its prime, and I'm super excited for Guardians 3.
Yeah. My number 1 is Guardians 3. I adore the Guardians movies. Those films are top tier MCU in my opinion, along with the Winter Soldier, Civil War, Infinity War, Endgame, and a bunch of others. I love these characters. I love these characters. I love this universe. I love James Gunn's sense of humor. And James Gunn and James Gunn has yet to let me down. I just know that this film is going to be just an emotional roller coaster, an emotional roller coaster, and I hope that this is a great conclusion to this trilogy. I'm ready to laugh. I'm ready to cry. I'm ready to just to just experience this film, and it makes me sad that this might be the last time we see these characters again. Like you said, a Marvel film. I haven't felt like this with a Marvel film in like a long time. I haven't felt like this since like Infinity War and Endgame, where everything felt like where like a ton of things felt like they were really coming to a close. But I'm beyond pumped. I am beyond pumped for this film, and there's not much more to say about that.
Yeah, it's sad. It is an ending. It truly is. And this movie is going to kick off the summer season the first weekend of May. It's going to make a lot of money. I know this is going to be very sad when James Gunn walks out the door to DC, but it is going to make a lot of money.
Yeah.
So my number one film is Creed 3.
Yeah.
It was coming from a mile away. Rocky is my favorite franchise of all time. I think it's the best movie ever made. I got an Apollo Creed Funko Pop here.
Yep.
For a plethora of reasons. Rocky's my favorite franchise. Rocky 1's best film ever made, in my opinion. Sylvester Stallone's my favorite actor.
Yeah.
Rocky Balboa's my favorite fictional character ever written. And Creed 3 or the Creed franchise is everything that I love about Rocky, but told in a different way.
Yeah.
And they're bringing it into a new light. They're bringing different stories, different characters, and like a different they're telling it in a different way, and it's great the way they're doing it. And Michael B. Jordan being able to finally direct is wonderful, because I think he's talented. I think he'll be fine. I don't think a lot of people are worried that he's going to be a bad director. I sense no such thing. He's going to be perfectly fine. And the fact that the villain is, this time it's not Rocky's or Drago's kid, which is a little predictable, and I wasn't a big fan of that. This is an emotional story from someone from Adonis's past who's coming back to him, and it's going to be an emotional roller coaster. This movie is. It's going to be through the background of Rocky, which is all about hope and being the underdog and persevering, and it's an American movie. Like really it is an American movie in the background. That's what Rocky is. America, fuck yeah! And I think Creed 3 will do a great job of that. Jonathan Majors is one of the best actors ever. One of the best actors in Hollywood right now. I'm getting a little excited talking about Creed. But yeah, man, I'm super excited for Creed. March is stacked. I'm gonna see Creed multiple times. I might even skip Shazam to watch Creed again. I don't care about Shazam anymore, to be honest. I might watch Creed twice instead of watching Shazam. But yeah, I'm super excited for Creed 3. Let me touch on this real quick. I'm very sad that Sylvester Stallone doesn't support the Creed movies anymore. Which is not because of Michael B. Jordan. It's not because of the director or Michael Jordan himself. It's not because of any of the staff a part of the Creed movies. It's because of one of the producers. They have problems. Him and Stallone have problems, and it's just because of that. Stallone said that it has nothing to do with Michael B. Jordan, or if Sylvester Stallone said that if they wanted to make Creed 4 without that producer, he'd be on board.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
It's just because of that one producer. So I'm very sad that this movie doesn't have Stallone's support, but it has mine. So I love Michael B. Jordan. So I'm super excited for Creed 3.
Yeah, I'm pumped too. I'll be there. I'll be there opening night. I saw somewhere that there was some announcement that there being like a Drago spinoff, and I think that producer was behind it, and Stallone, and Stallone was not too happy about that. I'm not sure the full specifics of the story, but I do know what you're talking about, and I am kind of bummed out that he's not in this one, because I think he's a great actor. His performance in Creed 1, his performance in Creed 1 should have gotten an Oscar, in my opinion. I thought he was truly amazing in that film.
Seriously though, Mark Rylance?
And I am bummed out, but he's not in this one. But also at the same time, I think it's cool that it's like a passing of the torch kind of thing. To where this film can really be can like really like truly be focused on like on like Creed's story and him and like his journey and him doing what he needs to do and stuff like that. So yeah, it's a whole thing there. But yeah, I'm pumped for this film.
Yeah, me too. I think one more note. I think that it's very important that the story is still by Ryan Coogler.
Yeah.
Like he's the one who started Creed. He did.
Uh-huh.
He is still telling the story, even though he's not directing it,
Yeah.
because he said after Black Panther 2 he's going to take a break, much needed, well deserved. Ryan
Yeah.
Coogler, wish
Well
you all the
deserved.
best. You're the best.
Mhm.
Yeah. The story. I'm happy that the story is still by him and his vision is still coming through because I mean Creed 1 was a masterpiece.
Yeah.
I really think it's besides Rocky, it's the best one in the series.
Yeah.
So I'm super excited for Creed 3.
Yeah, I've got the 4K.
There it is
Yeah.
right there.
Yeah. I'm hoping to get I'm hoping to get the 4K of a Creed 2 soon. So that way I can have like the complete Rocky collection. You know.
Sweet. Yeah,
Yeah.
that is awesome.
Yeah.
So yeah, Creed 1 easily, or Creed 3 easily my number 1 pick. Wasn't even close. I'm super excited for it.
Yeah. 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 Great list that you had there.
Thank you, man. You too. I think yours is a little better because I forgot Mission Impossible. I would definitely I would kick Barbie to the curb and put Mission Impossible on mine if I could. So.
There you go. All right, those were our picks for our most anticipated films of 2023. Let us know what your picks are in the comments. Do you agree? Do we disagree? Like, comment, subscribe, share the video, and we'll see you next time.